Uh, Hi, Dr. Aninda Sidhana. Thank you so much for meeting with me today. And if you would like to just give a brief introduction about yourself and what it is you do um, for
Yeah,
everyone.
I would like to definitely. First of all, I would like to congratulate you as you are doing such a good work and have started your NGO, Finding Order in Disorder. So, which is a wonderful work, creating the talking about it and creating mental health awareness, which very less people get the courage. So that is appreciable, and I'm glad that I got to connect with you. And it's very wonderful that mental health awareness should be made, and especially about the gender-based violence. The more people talk about it, the more it will amplify the voice and help women to inspire and break the silence. So I am basically a psychiatrist, and from the family of psychiatrists. So I am a psychosexual medicine specialist, and I always thought about the human mind. I know, but I didn't know the textbooks are different and my life is going to be different. So after I went into the marriage and I got to know about the human life, human mind can be so different, and I went through gender based violence. Then I decided, like, I'm going to dedicate my life to help women break the silence. That is why I decided to share my story, because I believe storytelling has a power. It gives women courage. Everybody, even when you share a small story, it gives courage to someone in the world. Even I got the courage from a podcast and to break the silence. And that's why I'm into mental health advocacy. And also, I did psychosexual medicine specialty, and I saw like many people are there because of the stigma of LGBTQ community. They are having so much of difficulty. So I help them. I help those clients in coming out process. So I do that LGBTQ advocacy, and to develop to equip myself with this. Currently, I am started doing the courses with United Nations for SDG. How we can attain that. So
Okay.
thank you, Isha, and I really applaud you for as you are doing such a good work.
Thank you so much for sharing this. So I guess I wanted to connect also on what we both connected on together earlier about our coping mechanism. So I know for me it always has been that I like to do like journaling and dance and all these the hobbies that I do. But I guess I wanted to ask you, how did you find your solace in your hobbies that you do, and how do you cope with what you've been through? So now
Yeah.
you're doing advocacy, you're connecting with other people who have may have been through the similar stories and lived experiences. But right now, what is it that you do as a hobby, as a coping mechanism, and what helps you the most?
Yeah, so it's like totally different to my personality. Like earlier, I was into dancing and going out, partying. I was a like very outgoing person, and I'm also a Kathak graduate and do dance, everything. But after my first divorce, I got so isolated and I dived. I never read novels. I used to read books only to sleep, except the academic books I loved. But that is the hobby I developed to cope up with the loneliness and to cope up with the stigma of not going out. I could not go out, and for the dance class, I could not join. So I started reading, and I started reading about self help books. And then I found the solace in the fellowship. By God's grace, I got the fellowship in psychosexual medicine. So I got busy in that. And that was the thing when I started reading. And after the second marriage, actually, in my second marriage, I was confined at one room. They didn't allow me to go outside at all. And me being the most outgoing person, having too many friends, and it's like from Friday, I will start thinking what is to be done on the weekend. Or if birthday is coming, I will be like 2 months before, I will think where we will go, what to be doing. But there it was nothing. So I had to find solace in somewhere. So, so I started reading self-help books. Then I even read Shiv Puran and spirituality books. And mostly I read about the lived experiences of the people. And finally I started getting like I started writing. I also don't know how it came, maybe that's like just the part of the healing process, and it's natural process, like I
Hmm.
got into it. Yeah. So that is, I found it, and that is a hobby which I have developed absolutely against my personality, but
Yes.
I am loving it. Yeah.
Absolutely. So I found it very interesting because even for me, when like you had mentioned, when you had gone through your marriages and the divorce and everything, you actually it was a sort of change of personality, and out from being more extrovert, you became introvert, and you found ways to cope, and that was a bit
Yeah.
different, and maybe you stopped, interacting. So do you think the reason for that also was also had to do anything with societal stigma? Maybe you thought, what will people think?
Yeah.
Uh,
Definitely. The
yeah,
first of all, in the second marriage I stayed, the reason to stay only was the societal stigma.
right, right,
Every day I used to think, what will happen, what will they say, because my father is a psychiatrist, and like well-known psychiatrist, and we belong to a small town. And here, till now, I don't go near my hospital because it is surrounded by all the doctors. Everywhere there are hospitals, I don't go there. I
right,
have, despite having my own hospital, I am doing a job in some other medical college where people come from outside and do the job, so that nobody can ask me, who are you? Nobody knows me there. Like, I'm Dr. Sidhana's daughter, or who am I? Nobody knows my past. So
right,
that's why, still till now I have that stigma. Like, they will say, "Arey, ye fir aa gayi wapas,
right.
second time." And that is the only thing I tolerated, and the marriage, the only thing was that, for the
Yeah.
second time. Yeah,
So,
and even after the
hmm,
first marriage,
hmm,
I had stigma, but more than the stigma, it was depression, and I felt like I have been like shattered because I had built my own two clinics in Delhi, which I had left. My social circle was all in Delhi. I left everything,
right,
and we had a home, and I felt like I have to leave everything. And that guy is staying there only. He didn't leave anything. His friends are there. Everybody is there. But I
right.
have lost whatever I built up.
Yeah.
So it was more of a depression. Yeah.
Yeah, I can relate with what you're saying, because it's often the woman who has to bear the brunt of
Yeah.
shame and guilt, and then they have to move and leave
Definitely.
everything. So
Yes.
even for me, when I was in Germany, I had to leave everything behind and
Yeah. Yeah.
restart my life, and I believe you have done the same. But
Definitely. It's very difficult.
yes, yes, now that you are finding your own voice internally, and writing and journaling, and connecting with other people as well, and viewing podcasts and reading books, what is one advice that you can give to other women who might be going through similar situations currently, as not only as a professional, but as someone who
Yeah.
has lived experience in this?
Yeah. So actually, when I ask someone, like, for the right, when I write an article or a book, or even for the newspaper, I send my article, I send it like the title, Gender Based Violence Through the Lens of a Mental Health Professional. Because I have even read about it, everything. I did a multi-centric study on domestic violence, impact of lockdown on domestic violence, and I had that interest in women mental health from the beginning.
Right.
But after living this, I read everything about narcissistic abuse, even the law and everything. And the thing which kept me going is the strength of the friendship. At times, I say, we just say like blood is thicker than water. Even the relatives don't come in front. What I have been through is like the female friendships who have supported me. So never leave your friends.
Mm.
That is one thing I will give you advice. And definitely the narcissist and the person you are married to, they will try to cut you off from the social contact. But who are your true friends? Even if you talk to them after 7 years also, na, they will be there for you.
Yes.
So I feel grateful, blessed, and I just feel like you should be social support system, and the friendship that is, you should not leave. Either it's with a male or female, whoever it is, and at least confide to one person.
Yes. Yes.
Never keep it a secret. Yeah. If
Uh,
you can't confide it to your parents, at least to a friend you can confide.
I really like what you've said because I also believe in the same thing. I mean, I guess in medical language and in what I believe in also is, which my doctor also shares with me, is that it's more of a collaborative care system where you
Yeah.
have these caregivers and at least two, three people whom you can confide in.
Yes,
And for me,
definitely.
that was it was my uncle who passed away due to COVID.
Yeah, I know your
Uh,
Veerpa and
yeah,
yeah,
and
definitely.
my father and my mother,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
even my brother has been my younger brother.
Ishan had mentioned, like I read in your book, like Ishan had mentioned about your mental health when he was applying
Yeah,
to the universities also,
yeah.
and he has been a big support for you.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
it's nice that you mention these things because we often it's hard for us to, when, especially when we're going through something like that, to confide in people. And and I guess my next question is if someone is going through that, in India particularly, because I know when this happened to me, I was in Europe, and maybe the society there was a little different in terms of the systemic issues and structure. But what I wanted to ask is, what can someone possibly do if there is a woman going through this currently in India, or maybe who
Yeah.
is not from a very, like one of the big cities there, and what resources can they possibly reach out to,
So,
and what can they do which can maybe not implicate them in any way, or um, like a safe option for them to reach out, and what would you recommend as a mental health professional and also someone with lived experience?
yeah. So first of all, like regarding the interconnection, I have even written a poem about it's called Behan Code, like the strength of female friendships, how they can help you, and also like writing a diary. And I actually, by God's grace, I have all the evidence. I used to write the diary, or else I will record or take a photograph for the evidence. But
Hmm.
like they used to snatch my phone, that's a different thing. Still, I tried, yeah, so that nothing can be against me. And definitely messaging or journaling helped me a lot.
Journal.
And now when I have started writing about this, I don't know, from even like in India, I have been getting calls from two three women. I have got calls, educated women, that we are going through the same thing and we thought you are running an NGO, can you help us or
Mm.
talk to our parents? So I actually explained their parents that it's abuse, because abuse is, it's not only physical.
Yes,
And physical
absolutely.
abuse everybody can see, but the emotional, financial, psychological, and spiritual abuse is more bad.
Absolutely.
That is worse. And no one in the family can understand. So one has to make them understand. So I just, like, I try to make them understand. I have actually tried in the last 1 week, two families I consult and tried explaining them. I think maybe writing blogs only if at least one person is being helped, so that is better. So other than that, the reaching is like either you can go to report to a friend, or the biggest mistake I did was not getting a MLC done. So the first thing, they have to get MLC done. Then that is like very important thing. Maybe you, and another, there are few stages like when you don't have to file FIR. You can just go and report it to the police. Like, I am reporting it, don't take any action, don't do anything, but for the record.
Yes.
And they keep it. Yeah. So at least that will be safer side. You will have it. So
Yes.
that can be done. I have read about it now. I was not aware about it. Like this can also be done. It's like I don't remember the name, but it's not proper FIR. It's just the information. Police has not to take the action, but later on it helps you.
So I guess you have mentioned so much about your coping mechanisms, such as writing, journaling, poetry, and these are all things that also I used as a means to heal and
Yeah.
catharsis. So I would like to offer, if you want to share some of some poetry that you've
So
written. Uh,
definitely, actually, I have written like I have like compiled my whole life journey about two marriages and the abuses I faced into a poem while
yes,
writing about it. I kept on writing about it. I have written like even the hilarious count how dysfunctional the family was. That
yes.
was like a catharsis, and so I have written it in all the ways. So I can recite a poem like and I have given this title as a broken but beautiful.
Okay,
So yeah, as SRK says, हर टूटी चीज को जोड़ा जा सकता है.
sure.
So definitely.
Okay.
So I can recite that poem. Born with a silver spoon, as everyone says, but life of privilege in a world of disarray. And little did they know the struggles I have faced. Being a psychiatrist and from the family of psychiatrists, a struggle of resilience of heart that has been replaced. The first thing I did, I landed my dream job at Ibhas with a heart full of cheer. Fell in love head over heels with a man who brought me into tears. Narcissistic abuse, a toxic game that shook my self esteem, left me with heartache, shame, stigma, everything. I had to leave my job. I left everything and I was taken aback. But still, I rose from the ashes like a phoenix, healed myself, found the fellowship, and found solace in the bigs. But again, I didn't know I'm going to fall in the another trap. The most charming, handsome man I met. He was a monster in the like we say in the walls sheep. So that charm during that charming man's cycle, it was a love bombing, and he we used to it was a romantic dates, but all came into end into the IVF cycles, miscarriages, and a body born with bruises and sighs, a black eye, confinement, and the soul that cried. But still, I found the courage to walk out and say goodbye. The year 2024 was a year of loss, grief, broken relationships, letting go, and shattered dreams. And but seeing my dad feeling helpless and a system that fails despite having the evidence and the recordings, I didn't get justice. It made me doubt the legal system, but still I found solace like I will help the other women. It so I stand tall, resilient, and smiling, ready to fight. Now my goal is to help women in distress, to raise awareness, and to turn my pain into purpose and never say die. I am grateful for the family and the friends who stood by my side and kept me through thick and thin. I will keep on fighting for women and raise awareness and help them break the silence. And the only thing I learned is like it's not about how educated you are, how rich you are, how charming and how handsome you are. The only thing which defines your character is how you treat the people who cannot help you in any way, who are below your status, either in administrative, either in financial, or anyway, the way you treat the people defines your character, nothing else. Any degree cannot define it. So that is one thing I have actually learned in my life. So that's that is my mission now to like I thought of a name of NGO as Awaz. I'm gonna think about it because to break the silence, either Awaz or Pukar. Like we'll see.
Mhm. Thank you so much. That was beautiful. It got me very emotional already. I have, um, and absolutely. I think we need to take maybe 5 seconds of silence to soak that in. What a beautiful reflection you have on
Yes.
what your lived experiences, your life, your coping mechanisms, and the positivity that you hold within you, uh, despite of everything that you have been through. I mean, that spoke to me a lot. I have to say that I also had to go through that journey of um, negativity to being more positive about the experience and learning from the experience.
Yeah,
But the way you have come out through that, and might I say so soon, because this is very recent, and look at you now, and I just am looking forward to seeing how you're going to be 6 months or a
mm.
year from now, and I'm so happy that you've reached this breakthrough in your
But
life.
actually, the thing is like, yeah, uh, I am grateful and blessed with the family and my very close friends who have actually got me through this journey. Like, I got on the day of my birthday, they will book me surprise trips so that I don't sit and cry. And when the day on the date of my marriage anniversary, my best friend booked the trip and booked the trekking for 12 kilometers. She called me up, we are going for trekking so that you don't cry for the emotional thing. At least you will cry that my knees are paining. So the strength of the friends I have, that is what keeps me going, and they keep on motivating me. And I'm blessed with a family. Like, so the thing, I'm raising the voice and why I got so motivated to help women, because despite being privileged, I have all the financial resources, legal, educated, everything, but I am not getting justice, and all this could happen to me despite being from a family of psychiatrists. My father could not identify the red flag signs. He used to come every week twice. So my father has a 42 years of experience, and he has so much of guilt that he could not recognize.
And
So that is why I feel that what would be happening to other women, because I have seen many women who are staying in the abusive marriage because their family doesn't support. The stigma is so high.
yes, yes,
So that is why I decided like I will help women. So that was like, and I believe maybe this incidence of second marriage only happened for this higher calling, higher purpose.
absolutely, absolutely.
Yeah.
Like you said,
So
there is a reason for everything,
yeah.
and
So it's like after first divorce, I was more adamant to do something in psychiatry,
hmm,
like to teach myself, because my first husband, he always used to say, "You are nothing." He will spit on my face, and "You are ugly," and all those things, and belittle me, and like I don't know psychiatry. So I had determined this, like, what are you saying? I have psychiatry in my blood, and I have also the same experience. I can also do something.
yes,
So that time I was like, maybe that was self-centered thing. I wanted to do something in psychiatry. So maybe with maturity, you think like, this time I think about like it should be for everybody. Like, women should break the silence. So that were two lessons from my like different coping mechanism from two divorce. Like,
absolutely. The other thing I wanted to also bring to light is your desire to not only share your story, but to reach out to other women who are going through similar experiences currently, and your plan to also have an NGO which addresses these issues. Like you had mentioned, your NGO which you want to name Avaz. So I'm looking forward to your future initiatives for
yeah,
gender-based violence and women advocacy.
yeah, I'm looking forward to it. But as it's like, I have written an article also recently that grief and healing process is not a linear journey. It's a roller coaster ride.
Yeah.
So I don't know, maybe right now I'm in the phase of connecting with people and doing things, and the next moment, while driving the car, I break down into tears.
No, it is
And
absolutely
so
fine.
that's like a different personal thing, and definitely navigating the grief of the person who is still alive is more difficult to
Yes,
come with terms with,
yes,
because you cannot accept it. So that is the, so grief is not a linear journey, and I just wish and hope like to stay connected with people like you, and women, powerful women whom I have met with while writing blogs, so that I keep getting encouragement to do things and don't fall back into the grief.
Well,
So
I think that with the strength and your Behen code, you will find a lot more
definitely.
You'll find a
I
lot
hope.
of women, not only the ones who are have been through these lived experiences, but the ones
Yeah.
who want to support the others who
Yeah,
have.
definitely. There are many women who want to support. So
Absolutely.
even men I know who want to support.
Yes.
Yes. So definitely. But it's just about breaking the silence and
Yeah. Yeah.
talking about it. Even about mental health, nobody talks about it. Everybody will go, I got diabetes, मुझे admit कर, मुझे heart attack आ गया, but किसी को depression होता है, admission होता है, कोई नहीं बताता.
Absolutely. बिल्कुल सही
हाँ.
बोल.
हाँ, उसमें सब बोलते हैं मुझे मिलने आओ, इसमें बोलते हैं बताना भी नहीं है.
हाँ. हाँ.
So there's no difference.
Yeah. Um, well, I just want to thank you so much for meeting with me today, and hopefully we can do a lot more collaboration and initiatives
Yeah, actually,
with,
I
with,
want you
with
to
my
just
NGO and
ask.
also your future one, and hope to stay connected. And thank you so
Yeah,
much for meeting with
I
me.
hope to stay connected with you, and I hope if I can contribute to your NGO, like find order in disorder in any way,
Absolutely,
I would be
absolutely.
happy to do that. Yeah, because you are motivating people, and as you told me, like you have been teaching and the people about of creating awareness, and even your mom made the movie Unfinished regarding the mental illness, and so it's like raising awareness about mental health.
Again, thank you so much, Dr. Aninda, for meeting with me today. And you have definitely inspired me to also write more poetry about this topic and have the collective veiled voices of women who are out there and not only connect but share these stories on platforms where these stories can be reflected upon and more power to everyone who's going through this, including you and me. And like you said, it is a journey which is
Yes, definitely, it's a
it
roller coaster ride.
exactly
Yeah,
it's forever. It's ongoing.
it's forever. Yeah,
And it remains unfinished, right? So that's
yeah,
also
definitely.
yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
So,
Thank